Prairie projects are lessons in history, and that's what I like to talk about when I talk about this site. It's a wonderful history lesson. This area was served as a grocery store, a gas station, a bowling alley, a dance hall, and
a roller rink.
Right. Wow. In fact, the Crystal Roller Club is out here.
There you go.
So, Ted Spangler decided he wanted to donate the property to the Clear Lake Township Land Conservancy. Ted's idea was that he did not want this to be developed. He wanted this to be a nature park. He just wanted a passive park that you could walk through, and so that was the intent here. And Paul talked him into a restoration project that would bear his name, Spangler Grove, and grove implies a grove of trees. We wanted to develop a landscape that was indicative of this area prior to the settlement, as a testimony to what our forefathers came to. This grass right here is probably the most gorgeous prairie grass that we have. Very, very ornamental. In fact, this is starting to be planted as an ornamental grass. In fact, you go to downtown Angola, those big strips that are coming up to the mound, this species of native grass is planted in those medians. This is called wild bergamot. It's related. The bee balm has a red flower, and it can grow in your garden. This has a lavender flower. Here's the common milkweed right here, yes. and it's called milkweed because it has a milky latex sap. Interesting thing about butterfly milkweed is it has no latex sap, so it's kind of an anomaly as far as the milkweeds are concerned. Here's the foliage of it, and the seed pods have already popped open. Oh yeah. So it was a bean or a pea family member that the pods actually twist. So you got little blue stem, which is where did I see that one? Right here. Little blue stem, prairie drop seed, Cytotes grama, and copper-shouldered oval sedge. Those are the four that we planted in here by seed. Stiff goldenrod. All the goldenrods will bloom in late August and September. So this color here will be mostly yellow come this fall with all the wildflowers. Most of the goldenrod bloom in the fall. This plant right here is going to bloom for the very first time since this was seeded. This is called Prairie Dock, and this has a root on it that looks like a carrot. It's a big taproot that's maybe 5-6 feet long, about this big around, and it has these monstrous leaves on it that are always cool. It's just kind of weird because they're transpiring moisture all the time. They're always cool. And this is the flower stalk, and it's going to get about this tall with a yellow sunflower on top. And so the bumblebee would be a native pollinator, and the honeybees are pioneers. Yeah, they brought them. But they always, you know, it was interesting. They would escape. You know, they'd always swarm, and they'd always move out ahead of the pioneers. And so the pioneers would always find the beehives in hollow logs, you know, when they come into the area. So they thought it was native, but no, just because it beat them to the area doesn't mean it's native. So the raspberries will be a normal part of a prairie, and because, you know, the Indians obviously loved the fruit, and so we've kind of let them stay in here. It's not a prairie plant you typically think of, you know. It's not a wildflower, it's not a grass, but as long as it stays in check, why not? Now, an interesting thing is that we actually seeded this with two different mixes. This higher, drier, sandy area has the short grass prairie. If we were to walk down towards that walnut tree there, the landscape, the grasses and wildflowers are taller. We planted that with a wetter a wetter mix. And so we have big blue stem and Indian grass and a whole different suite of wildflowers than we have in here. You can actually get lost in there. It's over your head.